Hi, 7th graders. Today we're going to be talking about independent events. And so when we talk about independent events, we're going to be answering the question, what are independent events and how can the probability of them be determined? So independent events are going to be when we have two or more events where the outcome of one event does not affect the outcome of the other event. And so this could be things like if I roll a dice and I spin a spinner, it's not going to matter what I roll on the dice. That will not affect the results of me spinning my spinner. That would be one example of independent events. And so when we find our probability, we can find it by multiplying the probability of each event. So I'm going to take the probability of event A and multiply it times the probability of event B. So when we're going to be multiplying, we're going to be multiplying fractions. And so these are the steps that we're going to be following for multiplying fractions, just as a little review. So let's get to it. Sean has a bag of coins that are shown to the right. He's going to draw a coin, replace it, then draw another. So first of all, the fact that he's replacing it is one thing that makes this these independent events. All right, if he's going to draw it out and then he's going to put it back in. So once he puts it back in, it's like it resets the probability for all of those coins. So we want to know the probability that we draw a striped coin and a checkered coin. So first I'm going to look at the probability of getting a striped coin. All right, I can see that I have one striped coin out of my 8 total coins. And so that would be 1/8. And then now I'm going to look at the probability that I would get a checkered coin. So I see that I have 2 checkered coins out of the 8. And so this is going to be 2/8. Now, I know that 2/8 simplifies to 1/4, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and simplify it now because that literally simplifies my problem that I need to solve. And so if I go ahead and I have 1/8 times 1/4, then I'm going to end up getting 1/32. I'm going to look at now the probability of drawing a dotted coin and a zigzag coin. So when I look at this, I see the probability of getting a dotted coin. I see 3 dotted coins out of the 8. So that's 3/8. I'm going to multiply that times the probability of getting a zigzag. So I see 2 zigzags. Well, we already remembered or figured out that 2/8 simplifies to 1/4. So again, I'm going to simplify that to 1/4. And so 3/8 times 1/4, there's no cross simplifying for me to do here, so I can just multiply straight across and get 3/32. And then last, we're going to draw a checkered coin and a zigzag coin. So checkered coin, we've already found and looked at that probability. Remember, that's 2/8, which equals 1/4. I'm going to actually write this one off to the side. The probability of getting a zigzag is 1/4. And so when I multiply those, I multiply straight across to get 1/16. So the probability of those two events happening together is 1/16. Number 2, find the probability of flipping a coin and getting heads all 3 times. So we're just going to look at those separate events. Okay, so I flip the coin once. The probability of me getting heads is 1/2. On the second flip, it's 1/2. On the third, it's 1/2. And I'm going to be multiplying. So when we multiply again, we're going to multiply straight across. So the probability of you getting 3 heads in a row is going to be 1/8. Over here, the 2 spinners at the right are spun. What is the probability of landing on yellow and an even number? So I'm going to look at those individual probabilities. I need to make sure I'm getting yellow and then an even number. So the probability that I land on yellow is 1/4. And the probability that I get an even number, well, I have 2 even numbers there, so that's 2/4. 2/4 simplifies to 1/2. So I can simplify that fraction, and when I do that and multiply, I'm going to get 1/8. Next, it tells me that a penny is tossed and a dice is rolled. All right, so a die is rolled, sorry. What is the probability of landing on tails and a 5? So my probability of landing on tails is 1/2. The probability of rolling a 5 on the die would be 1/6. And then I can multiply these straight across to get 1/12. In a prize box, there are 3 sunglasses, 4 stickers, and 3 pencils. David will randomly select a prize, replace it, then draw another prize. What is the probability that he selects a sticker and then sunglasses? So first of all, we need to figure out our total. So 3 sunglasses, 4 stickers, and 3 pencils. We have a total of 10. So the probability that he's getting we want to know the probability that he selects a sticker and then sunglasses. And again, notice he's replacing. So the probability that he would get a sticker, that's going to be 4 out of the 10. Now I know that 4/10 simplifies to 2/5, so I'm going to go ahead and use that simplified form. And then he's going to draw the sticker, he's replacing it. Again, that's a key word that's going to indicate that it's independent. And then the probability that he would pull some sunglasses, he has a 3 out of 10 chance there. That fraction can't be simplified. All right, so now when I look at these fractions, we could actually do some cross simplifying here. So I noticed that 2 and 10 can be simplified. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. And then I can multiply straight across, so 1 times 3 is 3, 5 times 5 is 25, so we have a 3 out of 25 chance of that happening. Have a great day.